What's up? What's happening? K Mega 405 coming to you live from the 405. Well, I'm just a regular gamer talking to the intelligent gamers out there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, got a lot to talk about today. Well, I say a lot. I got a lot to talk about, but not a lot to say on a lot of things. I do have some things to say about this whole, um, man, the misinformation, the lies, these rumors. Definitely going to talk about that here a little bit later. But want to touch on something that was kind of crazy that I just kind of stumbled upon just a minute ago. Well, I would say about 15 minutes ago. And it is this from this article from Claus Me Gamer. It's clausomegamer.com. Whatever. It's pretty legit site. I've never heard of the site before, but they have this article out here that says racing games are outselling every other genre in 2025. That's crazy. That's crazy sauce right there. What? All right, so this was just dropped from, it was published from Jake Bishop, October 10th of this year. And it says, according to aggregate sales data by Sensor Tower, also Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, the racing genre is currently in pole position in 2025, with each title averaging around 262,000 units sold. Games like Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, which I picked up, F1 2025 led the way, which I do know that F1 is a very popular series. So what's going on with you? Same old Primal Data. Oh man, it's not Primal Data no more. It's same old Primal Data. Man, listen, I know, I tell you, man, getting old, bro. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. But that my man changed his name. He transformed to super old Primal Data. Anyway, let me keep reading this. Now I know I picked up a Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and it's really good. I gotta stream some more of that as well. Because I streamed it the day, what was it, like 2 days after the game released? Really fun game. Oh, he just said, okay, that's just the YouTube name. Okay, I got you. I was like, man, this man completely changed up on me. Okay, all right. Anyway, so it says together, the top four genres, racing, sports, shooters, RPGs, account for an eye-opening 85.6% of the average gamer sales this year. If we look at racing alone, it makes up for 31% of sales, beating sports by 22%. By about 40% and doubling RPG's 15.2 average. Oh my goodness. And so it's got a chart here. And I know that there's also going to be people on the opposite side of that was like, well, that don't make any sense because you look at a game like Borderlands 4 and Borderlands 4 outsold and if you read it, it said average of 262,000 sales. We all know that both F1 and Sonic Racing sold more than that by far. So whatever Borderlands is at is whatever. I know that there's a couple of other games that sold pretty well as well. But again, what genre was that game in? See, that's the thing. Like some people would look at it and say, well, Spider-Man, or let's just say Ghost of Yortai sold what, 1 million or something like that or whatever. I somewhere around there. And then you look at Borderlands, well, that's two different genres. You got like, I don't know if you would put that as an RPG or an action game. Maybe, I don't know if they have an action RPG genre category. I don't know. You got to clarify for me with that one. But it would be two different games because you got one that's a shooter and then you have other, because I mean, where you put Borderlands is with Chronos. And see, I don't even know if Chronos would be looked at as a shooter. Maybe it would be looked at as a horror shooter. Well, I mean, it is a shooter, so it will probably be a shooter. Well, Chronos didn't sell very well, even though you've heard very good things about it. Damn, Richie said Borderlands 4 already getting a discount. Well, it needs to. What up with you, Stanley Francis? I don't know. Well, okay, let me just keep reading this. It says shooters so far did 17.5% of sales to maintain their cross-platform dominance. Meanwhile, action games, despite some notable launches, has fallen behind due to the oversaturated market of smaller titles. Simulated and strategy games are top niches outside of PC, with both together representing under 6% of the total sales. Lifestyle, arcade, and adventure titles round them out at the bottom, each struggling to hit even 1.3% of the market. Hold on, listen to that. That's crazy. Okay, so lifestyle games, which I don't know what a lifestyle game is. Is it like The Sims? I think would be The Sims. But see, The Sims is, and I was just talking about this last week. Sims is the biggest, is the most grossing game from EA, which blew my mind. Like, I'm like, what, over Madden, over FC or slash FIFA? Like, that's nuts. But anyway, so I'm thinking that's what lifestyle games is. I don't know, but okay, arcade games, which is understandable because a lot of, arcade games is just more for just buying some classics or just playing some just a little fun something. And adventure titles, which round out the bottom, and which that to me is probably the most sad, the most disheartening part of this is the adventure titles, because then when we're looking at games and we're looking for different genres to start coming back, when you look at that and it says in 2025 that that those titles right there are bottom at the bottom of the barrel pretty much, and struggling to hit 1.3% of the market, then we have to ask these questions. And I'm just thinking from a perspective of somebody that is a publisher or somebody that's working on a game. What kind of game can we make that can generate some revenue? I mean, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. But then as gamers, we want everything. We want exactly how it used to be from the 360 PlayStation 3 era. But when you look at data and analytics, and I'm not the biggest analytic and data fan either. I think sometimes, especially like in sports, when they look into trying to do the analytics, it hurts sometimes coaching decisions. But sometimes it works for you. So I don't know, but definitely they're looking at these metrics. There's no question about that. All right, so then you go to this and it says, however, by the end of 2025, the tide might shift in favor of shooter games thanks to the launch of Black Ops 7 and Battlefield 6. Now, we know Battlefield 6 is cooking right now. I will talk about Battlefield 6 here in a minute. But Black Ops 7, it's COD. It's going to sell. It's great that Black Ops 6 is doing. Battlefield 6 is doing really well. I pretty much said that Battlefield was going to do really well, just because it's something different, and COD is kind of in the doghouse for some people. But COD is still going to sell. Don't get it twisted, ladies and gentlemen. We all know this. All right, let me keep going. It says, if that happens in 2025, might go down as the year the racing boom hits full speed, only to be stopped by a headshot. What's interesting to me is the Saudi EA deal. The Middle East has tons of racing fans, and is possible that the Saudis didn't just buy EA for the likes of Battlefield. We may see the return of Need for Speed and Burnout franchise in the future, which that makes a lot of sense because there's a lot of regulation out there in Saudi Arabia. Even though that, Saudi Arabia is trying to do all the, comedy shows and trying to present themselves as not having some of the things that they have going on out there. But if they're huge racing fans, then by all means, and that would be a welcome to get, because I enjoyed the last Need for Speed. And it would be great to have Burnout return. I just want Burnout to be like Burnout Revenge. I don't know. It was something about the Burnout open world game that it was cool, but it just wasn't the same. I loved the first, from the first Burnout all the way to Burnout Revenge. After that, I kind of was like, but I don't know. You gotta let me know about that. What's going on with you, Michael Turner? Hey, what's happening with you, Web Dave? How you doing, bro? Long time no see. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. And this is another sad point to this. This is the reason why I brought up this point. Okay, so right now at this point, racing games are outselling every other genre in 2025 in October of 2025. Guarantee you that, of course, Raichi, you hated a lot of games this generation. I would not expect anything less from you, brother. What's going on with you, Tashawn? Our PlayStation resident, he's back. PlayStation, yeah, it is pretty wild. And like I said, it's hold on, let me see. I can show you the. Let's see. Yeah, right here. Like I'm reading this stuff. So like if you know, it's right here. Like it's crazy. It's pretty nuts. And so yeah. So it's legit, and a lot of gamers take their word for stuff. Like they're pretty legit. And I mean, from this is my first time ever hearing about this site. The way that they break down these numbers is obviously there. So anyway, the whole point of me making this point is this. This is great for the genre of racing, right? But the sad part about it is that the VGAs is not going to represent them properly. They're going to, and that to me is where this stuff has to change. And there's no question that the shooting games will be the top genre of 2025. That's no question, because I do feel that Battlefield 6 is going to do a lot better than maybe previously thought, and Call of Duty is going to do well. It just is. So that tells you right there, if it's the second best genre, then it should be represented a lot better. See, there should be a category like it used to be where it's just racers only, and there should be racers that there are racers that are good enough to be put in for Game of the Year. No question. I still am pissed about how they snubbed the best-selling and the highest-rated game, which was Forza Horizon 5, and just snubbed it. Put it in a category with sports games and racers, and just said, okay, here's your little win. Good for you. That to me is inexcusable. And that's where a lot of this stuff within the gaming media and the way that the press and these voters, all that has to change. Because in order for us to start paying attention and having people that maybe really follow behind the VGAs and stuff like that, us gamers don't. But if somebody that is a casual, that likes certain games, and maybe interested in maybe wanting to try a game out, and then they look on maybe Time Magazine or some newspaper or something of that nature, and then they're reading this article and it's just talking about the games of the year, and that's the games that they're going to probably go and play. Well, then there should be a whole group of games that should be listed. I understand that they'll show every genre of games that won, but when it comes down to a racing game to be put into that tier, it should be necessary. And if you want to open up the pot, like add another one or two games into Game of the Year, I think that would be important for other genres to get the opportunity. I'm fine with indie titles, but if you look at it, it's usually always the same type of stuff that wins Game of the Year. It was refreshing to see Elden Ring win. I'm sorry, not Elden Ring, but the other Souls game that came from them with the samurai guy. I can't think of the name of the game right now, but yeah, that was refreshing. But to go back to seeing something, and then like for the It Takes Two or something like that to win, that was refreshing. But it's almost like the VGAs are so slow and don't want you to get off of the story narrative games, even though, as we just seen, adventure games are adventure. What did it go? What did it say? Adventure games were at the bottom. At 1.3, adventure arcade games were at the bottom. That's crazy. Adventure games and RPGs were not at the full bottom, but close to the bottom. RPGs is at 15.2. So, you know what I'm saying? So Baldur's Gate 3, that was good and refreshing. But then again, like, it's just not enough representation for all the genres of games out there. That's basically what I'm trying to say. That's why this article was fascinating to me. So let me read what's so second row. Thank you. Thank you, Raichi. Racers need those sick garages you could buy in Project Gotham. They have those, but I mean, like see, this is the thing that I fear, right? As we've been had a lot of good racers, right? Like, I mean, I thought, like I said, I liked the last Need for Speed. I liked the Need for Speed before that one as well. Payback, I went back to play Payback. Payback is not as bad as I originally thought, but it wasn't, excuse me, it wasn't what I was wanting from Need for Speed. But this last one, Unbound, it wasn't bad at all. It was a different vibe to it, and maybe people didn't like the story. The story was hit and miss, but it still the driving mechanics. I love the art style. You know, they're supposed to be doing a remake to Most Wanted, which will be great, which would be fantastic. But to me, where I fear is that, like, okay, Need for Speed is doing their thing, Forza Horizon's doing their thing, Gran Turismo's doing their thing, and then of course you got F1. But the problem is that it seems like those titles are good enough, but they're not good enough. It's going to take something like Take-Two to bring back Midnight Club in order for it seems to the VGAs to start to pay attention, or some of these other gaming groups to start paying attention that racers are just as important as any over-the-shoulder third-person, walking simulator. It is just as important, and matter of fact, way more longer gameplay. I mean, that's the one thing about Forza Horizon. Forza Horizon 5 is still selling, ladies and gentlemen. It is still selling. It is still charting. It's not only charting on PlayStation, but it's still charting on Xbox, and it's still charting on Steam. It's bananas how incredible that game is. So maybe it's Forza. Maybe it's Forza. I don't think that 2K Games is ever going to bring back another Midnight Club. It would be great if some developers would try to work to make something that's kind of similar to that, or if EA or someone else. But I mean, Forza Horizon 6 could be the biggest racing game we've ever seen in our history of racers in gaming. So it could. I mean, since it's definitely going to be on everything. So we'll see. But I just thought that was real interesting. But this is also a telltale that's going to give me a segue into another article that's been coming out here. Gamers in the U.S. ain't buying games, Jack. It's not looking good out here, folks. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. So it's let me go look for that again. Woo, hold on. Matter of fact, while I was talking about Battlefield, damn, hold up. Breaking news. Battlefield already has sold 6.5 million copies. Yeah, shooters is gonna win the tops before the end of this year, because so what Battlefield 6 is slated to do is probably be anywhere from probably hit about 15 to 20 million. So this will be the very first time in a very long time that it will be on COD's ass, because COD. We'll see. I enjoyed this. I mean, you're watching the gameplay to the new COD right here, the demo, or I should say the beta. Enjoyable. I had a good time with it, really good time with it. So I'm all in. We'll see. I know that there's this Call of Duty hate, but Call of Duty is going to do absolutely fine. But this could be the very first opportunity, the very first time that Battlefield, it will not overtake COD, but it will be on COD's ass in a very long time. We're talking about Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1 was a lot closer than a lot of people thought on COD that year. Battlefield 1, it hit. Matter of fact, Battlefield 1 sold like 24 to 26 million copies. But I think that COD sold like 30. But that's fantastic. And so again, it was just like what I was bringing up last week. when they were talking about EA is going to most likely close some studios down. Uh, yeah, nah, they're not close. Dice is all right, and I knew Dice would be okay. I just think that's very impressive. Uh, yeah, that's really impressive. That's impressive stuff. Indeed, that's impressive. But I need to go back to where I was going to go, and then I'll talk about Battlefield here in a hot minute. But let's see. All right. Yeah, I got to talk about Ghost of Yotai as well. Oh dang it! Did I not save it? I did not save it. I don't think. Oh no, hold on. It might be in another area, another part. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Where did it go? All right, here we go. All right. And this came this article from Vice. I used to love watching Vice on HBO. Vice was the real deal. What up with you, Curie? What's happening with your young lady? She said, Big Bad Mo said first. Let me go with Big Bad Mo. He said, Battlefield and but Battlefield touching COD numbers. It will definitely touch COD numbers. It's doing fantastic already. And that, I mean, we're talking about less than a week. So yeah, that's massive. Curie said that's good stuff. I would imagine they need 10 to 15 million though, with 20 million being excellent for long-term growth. Absolutely, that is. Tashawn saying Forza 5 should have been nominated for Game of the Year, but they stick it in the sports section. Yeah, no, and you know what? For a PlayStation dude saying that, that's impressive. That tells you right there the power of Forza Horizon. It is. I love Forza Motorsport better because I like Sims more, but I mean, there's no denying the true beast for Xbox racers and just racers in general. So yeah, that's a big time for you saying that. Anyway, let me take this down. Oh my goodness. Okay, a study revealed that a majority of video game sales are fueled by only 4% of players. In 2025, 63% of the US consumers are buying fewer games. 63% of the US gamer buy 2 or fewer games per year. Hold up, man. Hold up. Now, I talked about this a little bit, but oh my God, this breakdown is going to be sick. Come on. So we're also getting a lot of exposure because this is going to give me another segue talking about Ghost of Yotai. But okay, here we go. I'm going to read this again because that's bananas. A study revealed that a majority of video game sales are fueled by only 4% of players. In 2025, 63% of US consumers are buying fewer games, buying 2 games or fewer. You only buying 2 games, you only buying 1, or you ain't buying no games. It's trying to be nice. This header is trying to be nice. 2 or fewer, bro. Only 2 games or 1 or none. That's it. Holy shit. Okay, here, listen to this. All right. Okay, only 30% of the US-based gamers purchase 1 or 2 games per year. However, the even more surprising statistic is that 33% of gamers in the US don't buy any games at all over a typical 12-month period. So, free to play. This is why I know a lot of people don't like free to play, but this is why free to play is not going anywhere. So, it said it's unclear if this is being impacted by subscription services such as Game Pass or continued popularity of free-to-play games such as Roblox and Fortnite. Microtransactions in live service games, for example, are typically counted as game sales. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I did not know that microtransactions was. I did not know that. Well, that would make sense since, I mean, it's a free-to-play game. What? Okay. All right. So Wow. All right. uh, okay, so Matt went on to explain that most game sales in the industry are being fueled by hyper enthusiasts. Um, Hyper enthusiasts, price incentives, players are really keeping things going, especially in the non free to play gaming spaces. So it's the casuals that see, you guys sit there and talk so much shit about the casual market, but I've said this before. The casual market is what's cooking in the gaming space. I've said this before. I said this before. I've said this before. I've said this before. We got to stop. Well, I don't, but a lot of people got to stop dogging out the casuals, because the casuals is what they're the ones that buying Call of Duty. There's the one that, you don't think that there was casuals that was buying Battlefield. There's casuals that buy Madden. There's casuals that buy 2K games. There's casuals. Listen, I'm reading all these stats to you guys, and the games that people covet the most in the hardcore are the RPGs and stuff like that. Only 15.2%. For adventure games, less than 1.3%, man. That ain't cutting it. That's why we ain't seeing the games that we want. But then yet on the other side of it, we got content creators and other people shitting on casual market, and the free-to-play market and the casual market is what's fueling. It's always what fueled gaming. Always has. And then, I don't know. That's going to be another part to where I'm going to be talking about this whole Xbox stuff too as well, but that's crazy. Anyway, according to a third quarter 2025 Futures of Game poll or census, only 4% of video games players buy a new video game more than once per month. With a third of players not buying any games at all. Pro tip, before replying, just know seeing this post likely puts you into a hyper enthusiast bucket. So the actions of you and yours immediate cohorts likely do not match those of the general gaming audience. There we go. All right. So, as a side note, I'm ashamed to admit that my wife and I are totally fit in this bracket. And this is a writer of video games, but I mean, he's from the named Brent Copey, but he's from Vice. Like, I mean, you know, listen, guys, we're getting a lot of reality here in this generation. If anything, we're getting a lot of reality. One of the realities is that last generation Xbox listened to a lot of content creators and a lot of people, and they got burnt for it. This generation, Xbox is saying, we made one of the biggest purchases in gaming history. Well, was after now the EA thing is now the biggest, but it's still one of the biggest purchases of Activision. And people are still bitching and complaining about this, that, and the third. So we're just going to do what we want to do. PlayStation already tells you what they're going to do, if you like it or not. It's the PlayStation content creators that sit there and has to do the pivoting. They have to 1 minute not like something and then the next minute have to like something. Nintendo gamers, they're all complicit. They don't give a damn. As long as it says Nintendo and you have a Mario game, here we go. They don't care. Yes, more. Give me more. More pain, more of that, whatever. Just give me more Mario, Donkey Kong, this, that, and the third. I don't care how much you charge. Just give it to me. They're totally complicit. So you got one group of gamers that just don't give a damn if they sell you cardboard for $100 or $70 or however much that cardboard was. They have they're not even in the equation. You got some PlayStation gamers that want to push back and tell you, I don't like this. You need to change. PlayStation says, I hear you. We'll discuss it. And then they never change. And then you had Xbox that listened to a certain group of content creators and gamers and said, okay, we don't want TV. We want just a straight up console only, maybe have some dope features on it, and then that's it, and we'll show support. And then they still didn't support it. Now Xbox is on the demon arc, and now people are upset about it. What the fuck do you expect? What do you expect when they look and see these numbers, these statistics? How many people out here has been frauding the public for how many years? Oh, I bet. But listen, if you're obviously, for some I know are definitely a part of the 4%. I'm a part of the 4%. We're the 4%ers. But if you got somebody, and it also goes by, and see, it can go by gamer score or achievements or whatever. I mean, like, I'm not going to get a ton of achievements playing Call of Duty, Madden, 2K, a fighting game, or some this, that, and the third. I'm not getting a lot of achievements on those type of games that I play. But if you got somebody that's over here talking mad shit and telling other gamers and price shaming people about, hey man, you over here, you're cheap, you over here on welfare pass and all this and the third, and you only have maybe 25 games in your library, but you're a content creator and you make ad revenue, yo. I think the PlayStation community needs to look at you. I think the Xbox community needs to look at you. I think the Nintendo community might need to look at you. Let's keep that 1,000. I mean, that's crazy. These statistics are insane. And now we're wondering, and now, like I said, we're getting a lot of realities now. Here we go, looking and seeing EA. We're looking at all these legacy publishers that were here before most of us was born. Are out of here. They're like, man, go ahead, man. I'm not dealing with this. I'm not dealing with this. Man, go ahead. Give me that change. Give me that change. From Ubisoft to Activision, now EA. I mean, I don't know how that situation between Bandai Namco came about. I don't know if it's Namco that bought Bandai or if what collaborate. I don't really know. I don't pay attention to all that. But I mean, you just look at what happened with Sunsoft and kind of got absorbed and turned into Square Enix. Listen, all these legacy publishers, for the most part, are saying, listen, you guys are not holding up your end of the bargain. Now, again, another part of it is greed, because once they raised the world, I knew it. And that's one thing. I mean, me and Fonzarelli on GRG, when Fonzarelli was a part of GRG, we would go back and forth about game prices and things of that nature. But I always agreed with him about the fact of, if they raise prices to games, it's going to hurt gaming. And they're talking about even raising the prices more. But the reason why they're saying that is, well, is like, okay, gamers is wanting the most. They want the biggest, the baddest. They want realistic graphics. They want all this, that, and the third. And then we only have 4% buying multiple games. And then when we look, and we're always, and the people who buy the games, we're like, man, we're overwhelmed. What the hell? I mean, I want to get this game. I want to get that game. I want to get this game. But man, I can't do all that. Like, I mean, even if I was balling out of control like that, I'm still not buying that. Still not buying games on that level. I don't care if I'm a millionaire. I'm not buying games like that. The way the games is being pushed out now, I'm still going to wait for sales. But if you got people that's not even buying games at sales, good God, what is happening here? Because some of the sales that these games push out are incredible. Maybe not in the first, if it's a popular game, no, they take a long time before those games go down. But man, if a game has not hit a certain threshold for those for that gaming company, publisher, whatever, shit goes down quick. And I'm like, I'm writing, my hands is right here. Yes. Man, and then we got people out here that's let me show it to you again. Let me show it to you. I keep looking at this and it blows my mind. What did this thing right here say? A majority of video game sales are fueled by only 4%. Oh, shit. Only 4%. Come on, man. 63% of US gamers buy 2 games or fewer per year. And we got people out here, we got yahoos out here talking, trying to shame gamers. out here that do buy games, that do support Game Pass by paying subscriptions or PlayStation Plus or whatever. And if they like that game that much, they'll buy that game at a discount. I forgot. PlayStation Plus do discounts. I haven't had PlayStation Plus in a minute, but yes. But then you got these yahoos out here that will sit in a damn chair and will dog walk people for saying, I'll just wait. I'll just wait. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You people see this? Hold on, I must have went too far down. I forgot. I'm looking at the wrong one. Right here. This is all you need to see. For anybody even clip this shit and send this to the next hater out there that opens their damn mouth and say to you, oh, you a fraud. You don't buy your games. You renting. Ha, ha, ha. Bitch, you're one of the 6. You're not one of the 4%. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I tell you, the internet's not a real place. A lot of people on this internet shit are just not real. They on some kind of some weird. They imagining they're on some other shit. They extra bragging. They super thugs. They got guys out here talking to content creators about shut up and this, that, and the third, and talking about somebody being over 50. And then the next thing you know, the year before, they're over here spazzing out talking about that they're going to unalive themselves because of video game shit. Are you kidding me? What? Can't do it with y'all, folks. Can't do it with y'all. Y'all are unrealistic, ridiculous heathens. You're part of the 63%. You're talking shit to people who buy and support these games. Hell, if you know what I'm saying, like I said, I'm not in like I used to be because I don't bother people like I used to be. And I don't never really bother people like that, but I would give me a free game here and there. I would sit there and get some love. You know what I mean? And I'm like, now I just sit here like, man, I'm cool with Game Pass. Like I said, I love Game Pass. That's my shit. I love it. That's what I'm saying. I'm staying at the top tier. I don't care what nobody say. You can call me a corporate shill. Listen, you can call me whatever you want to when you're part of that 63 goddamn percent. And that's what makes sense about those people making those excuses when those comment section, when they're saying, I got a life. I got this. I got a life too. I got a life too. I go on trips. I hang out with my family. I hang out with the homies. I go places. I play games and stream. I got a life. I got a life. I'm not just sitting here acting like some weirdo that sit there and don't ever clean their room, sitting there talking about people don't need to vote or only certain people need to vote. I ain't one of them weirdos. I love gaming, but I'm not. But I understand that there's life outside of it. But for the people that get out here and they talking about this, that, making every goddamn excuse in the world, how about you don't talk about gaming at all? If you're part of the 63% that wants to jump in and throw your hat in the ring and talk about gaming, please buy more than 4 fucking games a year, please. Now I could be wrong on a situation like you might play a free to play, right? And you spend hundreds of dollars a year. Okay, then I apologize to you. But for you other bastards that's in this 63%, man, he can't talk to me. Don't talk to me. Don't. Shut your damn mouth. I've beaten more games than these people have sitting here bought. Like I told y'all last week, there was a guy that sit there and was like, I can't play. I can Game Pass 75 games in a year. I can't even play 6 games in a year. Oh, but you're on my neck because I'm talking about what I feel like is value. I didn't tell you that you needed to have Game Pass. I don't tell anybody that if you don't want it, then you don't have to have it. I'm gonna keep it. Only thing I just said to people was basically, if it's that much of a concern to you about the price hike, which I'm not for. I think it's a stupid move. Absolutely. but I still see value in it because how I game. You game differently than the lower tier. That you would be paying less than the $20 a month. Well, I need day one. Well, goddamn. You don't. Okay, so you need day one. So let me get this right. You need your games day one, but you don't want to pay the $30 a month. But then yet you only buy less than 6 games a year because you just said you don't even play 6 games a year. So you're in a part of that 63% that sit there and don't maybe even buy games like that, 2 or fewer. I don't know. Bro, 63%. And this ain't from no bullshit site. Vice don't be throwing no garbage. What are we doing here? That's what I'm saying. Like, we're getting a good, harsh reality about what's going on in gaming, and now it making even more sense about how this is. Now, again, the corporate greed is still there, and it should be opposed. And like I said, if for Xbox messaging and how they do shit, it is very stupid sometimes. There is no question about it. I will call it out as I see fit. Always. I'll talk good about Xbox. I'll talk bad about Xbox. And like I said, if Xbox wanted to make a stupid move again and raise the price again, then that's when I'm dropping to the next tier. I thank PlayStation for that. Because when PlayStation was telling me that they got to charge me $10 for the same game that I already own just to get barely high, again, a little bit of, you know what I'm saying? You get a little bit of something. Now, if you got a PlayStation Pro, you'll get a significant bump. But you got a PlayStation 5 from a PlayStation 4, it's a bump, but it ain't that significant. So why would I do that? That's the reason why I built my PC. To make sure that it was stronger than the next consoles that come through. That's why I did it. And that's why I said, you know what, PlayStation? You know what? I've shown love for you ever since you popped up in this gaming space. Show love, even when the times that I you know what I'm saying, I don't even play the PlayStation like that. But I said, oh, no more. I'll just buy your games on PC. So I'll wait. Do I want to play Ghost of Yotei? Absolutely. I would love to play it day one, but it ain't that. But for the bump that I would get, no. Compared to what I'm going to play when I get it, it's not even comparison. So therefore, that's how. So if Xbox wanted to be stupid and say, I'm going to raise the price to $35 to $35.99, well, damn. I don't see the value. I see value still, but I don't see the value at the top tier. So that means I don't need day one, and I could go ahead and buy Call of Duty. I've always bought Call of Duty for the last 20 years. It ain't no problem to me. But I'll just drop down to that 2020 to that goddamn $19.99 or that $14.99, and I'll have the 200 instead of the 500 because hell, half of the games that they have in there I already own. So again, that's why I look at value. I ain't trying to tell you what to do. I'm just giving you advice. That's what my thoughts is. These are my thoughts. I love to have the debate about it and go back and forth, but when somebody try to berate me by saying that I'm a corporate shield because I feel that there's value within something, I don't ever tell somebody that when they look at PlayStation and they're saying that's value, hold up. Again, you told us that games, that $10 extra wasn't a big deal. Okay, so I'm taking your advice, Stan. I'm taking your advice, PlayStation Stan. Okay, $10 ain't a big deal, right? That's what you told me when PlayStation wanted to raise their prices, right? Okay, I took your advice. Well, I get 500 plus games to play. I get 75 new games to play through the year. Plus, I get discounts. I get reward points to where I don't have to ever pay for a game $70 because I have it and I still have it. I found value in that. But hold up. Out of that 4%, something ain't right, ladies and gentlemen. 4% of us is the ones buying the games. 4% of us is the one in the United States. This is the United States. This isn't in the world. This is the United States. Only 4% of us is buying these games, Jack, are showing the developers love. And these people see this. Come on, man. Come on, man. 63% is out here not even. 4% are the crazy ones like me and you. Right, Doc. You can sit there and you can drop PC Game Pass. I mean, like it doesn't matter to me. Like I said, you do what the hell you want to do. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm not even listening to that bullshit again. And see, I think Deshaun is starting to get it. I think our PlayStation resident is starting to get it. He says this toxic culture, a podcast, and arguing and making videos have really turned people off from gaming as a culture. Go ahead and look up video games on YouTube. All you see is fanboy videos. You're getting it. You're getting it. You're getting it. You're getting it. You're getting it, Tashawn. You're getting it. Good. It took a few years, but you're getting it, brother. You're getting it. This shit is, it's all grift for a lot of people. For the people that believed those goddamn Xbox switched to PlayStation guys, then they kind of switch over to the Xbox, but then they go right back into it because you know why? It's a grift. They look at that. They look at this shit like it's wrestling. It's a hobby. Have fun with it. You know what I'm saying? It's video games. Yeah, but the venom from some people, man, I've had death threats. I told this one story. I was at a 7-Eleven at the old place where I lived. And there was a dude walked up on me. He says, "You K-Mega?" He walked up on me like he really wanted to squab. I said, "Yeah, I'm K-Mega. What of it?" And I'm like, "What'd it do?" And he gonna sit there and he was like, "Yeah," but he didn't know. I mean, I was a lot bigger then. But he didn't know that I was like dude was like maybe 5'8", little chubby white dude. Sit there and talk about, well, I'm a PlayStation dude. I'm like, good fucking for you. What of it? Well, I just think that you just hate on PlayStation too much. And then it turned into one. Then it turned out to dap. Oh man, keep doing what you do. Ain't no problem, bro. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? I was like, like I've always said, I don't hate PlayStation. Never have, never will. But I be goddamn, you gonna walk up on me? Well, dude, walk. He didn't know I was around my car. And I was bent down, sitting there putting in the gas, and then he sit there. And when I rose up on his ass, he sit there and stopped. That shit was the most hilarious thing I've ever seen, ever. And when I told that motherfucker what he doing, he saw my whole demeanor change. Because at first he said, "Came in," because I've had some people, not so much here, but like with E3 and stuff like that, very presentable. I'll talk and chill, whatever. But that motherfucker really, he had the grimace and everything. Dude, white dude with a beard. I couldn't believe it, bro. But at first, it was like, what you? I'm like, what he do? What you want, man? What is it? What is it? Like, bro, the online stupid kitty beefs and grown ass men sitting there talking down to other grown men, cowardly shit where they sit there and they talk bad about other people behind the scenes, and then they sit there and jump on the same podcasts and they act like they're all cool. It is some bullshit around here. That's why I kind of stay in my own lane. I just float. Man, my wife could tell stories. I would sit there and be like, what is going on, man? Crazy shit. And you know what's the saddest part of this is that while I'm showing this clip, while I'm showing this picture, 63% of some of those bastards out there are just using you to believe that what they're saying to you is legit. Now, again, there are gamers, and listen, I'm passionate. I'm aggressive sometimes. I can be abrasive, I guess. You know what I mean? Because I don't play that shit. Let's just talk it out. Let's get it over with. Whatever. But this is my thing too. I don't mind being in a room full of alphas, but you better understand that I'm an alpha just like that. And I don't mind sitting there taking the advice and following on some. But once you start acting like you the main motherfucker to sit there and to tell people how to act, what to do, how to be, then you lost me. Because I don't follow that. I'm cool on listening to what, if somebody has expertise in something that I don't, that's how you learn. But there's some people out here that really think that you should, well, because I have more subs, or I have more recognition, or I have this, or I have that. You should treat me a little bit better. You shouldn't talk to me that way. You don't get your punk ass out of my motherfucking space. We ain't got shit to say. That's how I am. I'm just honest about the shit. I don't care. I'm not gonna rat nobody out or do no weird stuff like that. But this is what bothers me. And you're right, Tashawn. That's what bothers the hell out of me, is that there's so many people out here grifting. And I get it. It's about the money. You got to take care of your own. But man, it's not helping gaming. So when Phil and them sit there and say that they hate the console war, they do. They should, because they're usually at the brunt of it. They're usually the one getting the tiki torches and the pitchforks coming at them. Or I should say torches, not tiki torches, but the torches and the pitchforks. They're the ones that use, and usually the Xbox will kind of do that to themselves. Not all the time, but a lot of it. It is nuts. Tashawn, now that is a great that is another great question, but I say it's both. For a smaller studio, this is what Tashawn said. This is perfect. He said, "Is it corporate greed or is it survival?" It's both. Because a smaller company, like when you look at some of these companies, matter of fact, there was a game that just said that they had to close their stupid studio down. They had a highly acclaimed game. It was it was kind of like this sled indie game. The first game did very well. The second game did not. It just didn't meet expectations, and so they had to close the studio down. That's survival. That's survival. But what's going on now with these corporations, there's nobody to regulate and to hold them accountable. So they're just saying, hell with it. Yes. Am I an Xbox fan? Absolutely. I love Microsoft products. But do I trust Microsoft? Fuck no. That would be a fool to sit there and say, well, now listen, Microsoft, they have my best interest. They don't give a damn about me. They don't give a damn about you. Neither does Sony, neither does Nintendo. They care about your money. I know that. But me having a personal relationship with some staff at Xbox, yes, I care about them. I care about the box because I like the product. Just like anybody else would like the products that they buy and they own. Like, it's the same reason why you will go to the grocery store and buy the same product, because you trust that product. You like that product. Same thing. But it's definitely both. It's corporate greed, no doubt. That shouldn't like read the temperature in the room, Microsoft. What are we doing? Raise the price to Game Pass to $30? That's not a good look. It's not. Now, that's what I'm saying. I'm not tripping on anybody that's upset about it. But we don't. Well, hold on. What fan say? He said, "The King of the Hill, Hulu, and Disney Plus ad that played behind you while you're ranting. Kill, bro. Let it cook. Let it cook. I'm doing my shit right." Disney said, "Man, he own it. Let's go ahead and solicit. Let's go anyway." But I'm just saying, man, it is what it is. It is what it is. I went on my rant. I apologize for that, but I don't apologize for that. I'm just saying, fuck it. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing for the gaming community out here that sit here and that touts to want to shame people. That's the thing that I'm upset about, is the shaming of gamers of all kinds. Don't shame me if you're not buying games like that, and don't shame the people who don't want to buy games like that or can't afford to play games like that. And don't shame people who wants to game, who wants to buy those games, but their one revenue is a subscription service like Game Pass or something through PlayStation Plus or Ubisoft Plus or EA Play. That is, or if you know what I'm saying, if they have the PC using the Nvidia or whatever else is available. That's what's the other one? Luna. What the hell are we doing? Like 60. Now, if that said 63% of the U.S. gamers buy 4 or more games per year, or let's just say 6 games a year, and I'm like, oh, okay, now we're cooking. But this is embarrassing, and this is also telling us as well is that these companies, these corporations, this is the greed part, is pricing out their own future customers. Because there was another statistic that came out a couple of weeks ago that just said that gamers that's 18 to 25, they're not even buying games. They're not even buying consoles. Bro, Tashawn, bro. The soup bones would have been delivered, bro. If he made another step, it would have been nothing else to be said, because then at that point, I don't know what you got on you, I don't know what you're doing, and so I'm just gonna have to do what I got to do. Because I'm like, well, bro walked up like he really wanted some motherfucking funk, and I could not believe it. I'm sitting here first thinking, oh, okay, it's a listener, cool, or whatever. And I thought, and then I even tried to put it in my mind of like saying, well, maybe he just want to debate me. And that's fine too. I don't have no problem with that. And we could have adapted all, but whatever. No, he came walking up, UK Mega. UK Mega. What? I'm like, okay, yeah. Okay, well, okay. You know, I even had a smile on my face, right? And he's like, I'm a PlayStation dude. I don't like what you say. Man, what? I don't like how you talk about PlayStation. And then that, it flipped. It flipped. I was like, oh shit, survival. What are we doing here? What? So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's nuts. I like I said, the crazy shit that since I've been here, I've been doing this since what, 2013, something like that. And everything that I've seen people crash out and burn out. I've seen people burn out. I've seen people crash out and burn out. I've seen these people just crash out. I just seen people just see and just couldn't, you know, some people, like, again, I've got a small channel and it should be bigger, of course. But my thing is why I keep continuing to do it is because of the love for it. But the one thing is that people do it for sometimes the wrong reasons. And when they get exposed from it, and then they're not understanding, then they bow out. There was a lot of people that was in this space. But then there was a lot of people that just could not just tell. I mean, like, there were, like, marriages was broken up. You know, it's nasty out here, man. It's really nasty. And then, of course, if you want to be dedicated to do this stuff, it takes time, not only away from your, from what you got to do, but from other things, especially when you're trying to, you know, if you're in really high demand, you know what I mean? So you got to stay consistent, something that I always never really been. GRG was probably the most consistent thing I'd done. But as a matter of fact, we have GRG this week, don't we? I think we do. Anyway, so regardless, it's just one of those things is that I see how a person can burn out of it. But what I never could understand it is why people would take things to this level of hate and talk to another human being that way over video games. And we're looking at stats right now where it looks like the video game industry is in peril. This is what we should be talking about. This is hell with the console wars. This is like the end of games wars right here. Because there's only 1-2 factors that can come out of this for the gamers. Either we get nothing but free to plays, or we get the same shit over and over and over that they know that they can feel comfortable of knowing that they can get revenue, or the industry will just crash. Also, while we're looking at it from where they're using AI, you're going to have a group of people that's not going to like gaming because of that, which I'm not tripping about. I'm not tripping about people being mad about people losing jobs, because I also fear about the creativity aspect of it. Yes, can a computer pick up data and do all these crazy things 100%, a million times faster than a human? Yes, but it's still, a game can sit there and bring, okay, like case in point, Battlefield 6. I I'm hearing Battlefield 6 story campaign is so bad. I wonder if they just made the story out of AI. You can if you're a long time gamer, you can feel the soul of a game. Like when you, that's why Expedition 33 is so special. You felt the soul of that game. You felt what that creator did. You felt, there's games like, that's why I like Echoes to the End. I felt what those creators were doing with Echoes to an End. I really enjoyed that game a lot. Not the best game ever made or anything like that. Will not be nominated, but it should be something that if people catch on sale, give it a shot. Give it a shot. I would love for it to be in Game Pass so people could actually give it a shot. It's got combat is cool, got a cool story, voice acting is good. But that's what I'm saying. Like, there are so many games out there that you can feel that soul of the creator and what they put into the game. I don't know if now I have not played what is it? The Antlers, I think it was. I know that the game was in Game Pass. It still might be in Game Pass, but I've heard a lot of people push back on that game because it was the story was made from AI. I don't know if it was good or not. I know it got some good scores, but I have no idea. Come on, Raichi, stop it. No. He says AI do better stories than most games today. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Curie said the new rewards sucks so much though. At least have good stuff to use it on besides Xbox gift cards. Well, I mean, well, see, okay, now that's all I used it for was my gift cards. Now I did a couple of times. I used it on, like, there was Burger King, there was Starbucks. I've used it for Domino's Pizza before. I don't. You know what? I need to go through it and look at it. I need to look and see what's all in there now. Like, I mean, how diluted it's become, because because it used to have a whole list of stuff. Like, there was all different stores and all different stuff that you could use the rewards for them. I mean, because I remember I had the biggest. I do get jealous of those people that has like 200,000, like 100,000, 200,000 points, and I'm like, damn, I can't do it, because again, I buy games and I use it for my points to make sure that I'm not paying for a $70 game. So that's why I'm always just using it for that. I think I got maybe about $10, $11, and it's right there to where if I want to get a new game, I'm getting it for 60. I'll balance it out. Or if it's a coin, if I go buy quite a few games on a sale, which, like I said, I had to get that transmission for that truck. Ain't gonna be a lot of game buying here, so for a few months. But and I got a trip to go to in December, so ain't gonna be a lot of game buying. But if I went and I bought used games, then it would raise up, and then I would have 20, 30, 40 bucks, something like that. But yeah, I don't know. But there was only a few times that I've used it outside of that. So that part sucks. Let's see. Elite says, I don't know how people get 10,000 points. I guess I'm just too impatient. That's me. I'm too impatient, bro. Like I said, because I'm always looking at like, if I get a game on sale or something like that, or like, if, for instance, like, it's like, man, damn. Man, this game is $10. Man, I got. Let me go ahead and get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm impatient too, so that's my problem. He says, used to listen to Mega a lot, but fell out for a while. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, so let's see. He says people forgot video games are supposed to be fun. How is toxic? Now it's toxic in politics. Now again, I kind of throw in politics. I try not to, and I won't throw any politics today. But I feel when it's necessary to talk about politics. Like just the other my thoughts where I was talking about the whole Assassin's Creed situation. That because it was politics and what got that game canceled. So stuff like that. But yeah, no, it is very toxic. It's very toxic, and it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Like, I mean, when I was just talking about that, about Armagold, like he's gotten very political in the wrong direction, dangerous direction, in my opinion. But still, it has gotten that where because politics is real big right now because of the climate of what's going on in politics. But the game toxicity has gotten so bad that I just don't listen to a lot of it anymore. I just don't. I mean, and it's not because it's not people that I don't like. I like a lot of content creators. I'm still sub to them. For some, I still will donate. But it's just a part of it that is just like, man, I've done it for so many years of being a part of listening to people say things and used to think that it was legitimate, like they had real legitimate concerns. And there are some people that do. But for the most part now, people will just get up and say anything. So I guess it's a good segue for me to just get off of this now and just go talk about the Xbox situation. So Xbox been put through the ringer. In some cases, deservingly so. In other cases, not. So, and it even got me because I didn't even know. Like I'm over here starting to believe some of the stuff that was coming out here. So, the one rumor that came out was that, and then it was coming out there. I remember Tim Dog. He came in there on one of my streams. And he, in the comment section afterwards, he listened to it later, I suppose, and then said, Mega, you need to stay out of this, brother. He says it's going to get bad. And I mean, listen, like I said, I'm not going to ever talk bad about Tim Dog. Tim Dog has always been good to me, man. Tim Dog is good people. It's just like I said, I'm me. I'm not going to step out of nothing. I'm going to say what I'm saying. But if the one thing that's different from me than what others, I'm going to say, if I'm wrong about something, I'm wrong. Like, I mean, I'm human. I'm not going to bat 1,000 every goddamn time. That's just not what I do. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, that's the point of where you have the conversation. And when you are wrong, you come out and then you say, hey, look, all right, well, then how can this be fixed? What can be the situation to where, maybe that, and I know that there's some Xbox people that still listen to my channel. I'm talking about upper brass. I don't know if it was as many as it used to be, but I know some still do. But how can that be fixed? How can we talk about that? Where's the problem? What is this? What is that? That's the stuff right there that needs to be addressed. And that's, I think, as gamers, it would make things a lot more, it would cool the temperature when we sit here and we start admitting that we're wrong about shit instead of us always got to flex and then fight back when we are wrong and try to make some kind of damn excuse. So again, with that being said, Reddit, there was somebody that brought up the Reddit stuff about Xbox not, that was taking away Xboxes out of stores. So I posted it and I'm like, well, I posted this in the DM, in the GRG DM. And I was like, well, I guess it's clear that Xbox is cooked. And I said Xbox, and I didn't say cooked. I said Xbox is getting out of the console scene and just saying, forget the Series X and S and let's just move on to the next stuff. And it also could mean that Xbox is it just want to start selling their stuff digital. What I mean by digital is basically like you just go to Best Buy or bestbuy.com, walmart.com, xbox.com, stuff like that, right? Just not going and spending the money for the hardware to be at the store. So that, because I was, and me and Xbox 448, we was chatting about it and stuff. And so it was like, and so we all like, Xbox was just completely just pissed off, like, which rightfully so. And so then like another person basically said, yeah, I can confirm I don't see any Xboxes at my Walmart. And I'm like, well, shit. You know what I mean? So, and then, but me, I've always said this, I wait. it could be a first thing, and even though I could look at it, I'm like, oh my god, I need to talk about this right now because this is something that we all talk about. It's hot and fresh, you know what I'm saying, off the press. But I always wait because what I've learned is that what might seem this way might always be something different just a couple of days later. And sure enough, here we are. Here we are. So a Reddit post of somebody just bold-faced lying gets sent out to the gaming media, which was very fucking lazy, also sent out everywhere. Of course, you know the PlayStation community is going to cook. Then you get people like Mikey Barr and others over here posting little pictures and all this other stuff. And then Xbox is just getting just railroaded. And you know what? It's getting out there. And man, and then you come and then find out Xbox got to debunk it. And then you still got people that saying, no, it's not. Xbox said this, and which is true, because Xbox has put themselves in this position before by saying, hey, it's only 4 games. Now it's Project Latitude. We get it. But see, again, what trips me out is that we've heard from the same companies that, oh, we believe in hardware. Well, the PlayStation 4 is going to continue to keep doing it. Or we don't believe in backwards compatibility. Oh, we have this service that's going to be, that's going to have backwards compatible games. You just got to pay for it. Or, you know, we don't care about services and all this and that. And lo and behold, what do you got? So it's not like none of these companies have done that. It's just that Xbox gets scrutinized for it because Xbox do get themselves put in a position to where they hurt themselves and then they're cooked. And then, you know what I'm saying? And then they got to pivot or do whatever the case may be. But and we just have to come with the realization that the gaming media is not going to penalize PlayStation or Nintendo like they will Xbox. It is, we have seen it for too many years now. We know it. Even the PlayStation community knows it, that the ones that are the ultra stands or the ones that's just fans of PlayStation, they know it. Nintendo fans know it. People that's just in the know it. Content creators know it. Everybody knows it. The gaming media is very complicit on wanting to make sure that Xbox suffer in any way, case, or form. I don't know why. But they are not. But they're sure quick to want that scoop of that new game that might be potentially this, that, and the third. There, this, that, and if Xbox would be on demon time and say, you know what, until you treat us better, this, that, and the third, then I can't fuck with you. I'll go to this next site. I'll go here. I'll go there. Start making them see that they're not, that they're not going to tolerate that type of garbage. But Xbox always plays nice, and then they still get the foot up their ass for it every time. So it is what it is. But this is another thing too, and so when you got Wario 64, somebody who seemed trusted, Shinobi, somebody who seems trusted, everybody running with this news as though this was the law, and then I don't know if they walked it back. I have no idea. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, once I see that you put this news out there, now if you said this is a rumor. There was nobody that said this was a rumor. Everybody used to say this was a fact. Now it's got debunked, and here we are again. I mean, how many times have we said that, and we know eventually Starfield will go over to PlayStation, but how many times have they said that Starfield was just a month away? It was just a quarter away from being on PlayStation, and it still ain't on PlayStation. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Like this the misinformation, the push for something to fail so bad. It's the climate of where we at in this, especially in this country right now, where it's all about grift. It's all about it's all about demeaning. It's all about being being aggressive and trying to pretend that you look strong and tough and it's just all about just lying to people. Look somebody dead in their face and just lie. This is happening in this. It happens all over, but this is definitely happening in this country a lot, and it's spread over into our gaming. It's in every media now. It's in all media. You got a person that can look you dead in your face and tell you a bold-faced lie. And that's exactly what's happening right now in the gaming space. Somebody could come out here and tell you right now, Xbox, Phil Spencer is retiring at the end of the year. And lo and behold, there will be, and if it gets enough buzz, it will travel. And then, you know what I'm saying, I could just imagine Phil sitting there playing the game, and then he gets a call or a text and saying, man, or like, you know, he usually play with gamers, and he sits there and says, man, Phil, you retiring at the end of the year? What? You know what I mean? Like, this is what we're, he's like, oh shit. So I got to call my people to tell them, like, man, give a statement that I'm not retiring yet. What are we doing? That's why I wait. Because when there's, unless it's, you know, other new big news, like if a studio close and stuff like that, usually that stuff is pretty accurate. But when it comes to something with regards to Xbox, I got to take that shit with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? Let me read some of these comments here. Yep. Yes, fan. There was a person that did confront me at a 7-Eleven for being an Xbox guy. Yeah, it was crazy shit. It happened in 2018, 2019. I remember I told my wife, it was at nighttime. I sit there, bro. I was like, you know, I just give me some gas, getting ready so I can go to work in the morning because I had to go to work early. I had to go to work. Had to be at work at like it was 11 or midnight. So I was like, man, let me just go and get this gas early. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, when I get off work at 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm gonna have to. I will not feel like doing nothing but going home, taking a shower, eat me some, maybe have some time to go to and play a game for a couple of hours and go to bed. That was it. But yeah, that dude came up there and said, man, yeah, crazy. Anyway, that was the only time that I ever been confronted like that. It was only that time, but yeah. Now I've been threatened. Oh my God, I've been threatened. They threatened to get my mama. They threatened to get my son, my daughter. They threatened. I mean, I've had all types of threats. I've had messages and videos and all types of shit like that. But never in person. When anybody that I've met in person other than that guy, everybody's been pleasant, been cool. So. Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy, but that was pretty crazy though. So anyway, people forgot. Yeah, let's see. He says, "Oh, they definitely." He says, "They definitely don't like us using our reward points to get more Game Pass, bro." That that is elite. That is true. That is true. He says, "Yeah, I'm supposed to be a fan, but don't know why so many lose their minds over it." Say, yeah, I'm just reading that. That was the EI thing. Let's see. Okay, Curie's over here standing up for AI. She says, AI has has so much training. You know what I'm saying? I used to be in a tablet op / choose your own adventure style stuff, and it's brilliant. So I'm not saying that it's not going to be good, but I don't know. I still, and listen, it's this transition. I'm an old man, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, hold up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I kind of want humans to do that, still continue to do that work. Yeah, with the help of computers. I just don't want a computer to completely just do it all. And that's where we're headed. That's what's going to happen. The question is that, and if there's not enough regulation, these companies is going to still charge us tons of money extra. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, you know, talk about raising games to $80, and you don't got no human person to sit there and to pay for health insurance and all. Hell, the goddamn computer only just needs a little bit of maintenance. It don't need no damn life insurance or a livable wage. So why would you charge us more for that, right? So that's the stuff that and on top of that, like I said, the gaming, when you have a human player, a human creator, you can feel the soul within that game. Now, I can't just come out and say that a computer cannot do that. But I would bet if you did a consensus, well, not a consensus, but if you did if you put a room of bunch of developers, well-known developers, or I should say, like, let's say Insomniac, right? Or you know, Coalition, and then you have it go against AI, and they both make a game. I feel like the human element of it would be better. That's just me. Now it could be vice versa, but I just feel that for right now, maybe here in 20 years, of course, machine learning by that time will be absolutely insane. So it could be, but for right now, no, I still want human beings to be a part of game creation, and that's just me. Oh, you talking about somebody else? Oh, okay, Ocular fan. I thought you were talking about me. All right, never mind. Uh, uh, it's bare bones now. We talk about Game Pass rewards. It said it's bare bones now. All the cool options are gone. That's bad. Yeah, that sucks. See, I haven't gone and checked all that stuff. I need to go and check that after I get off here. He says, I've always just crashed in my rewards. Always just cashed my rewards out. Yeah, I've just read that. It says, I don't know people. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like people who has 100,000 points, I'm totally impatient. What's going on, Doctor? He said I legit had almost 300,000 points at one time, but that's because I never spent them for years, down to about 600. I mean, to 60K now. Well, I tell you, salute to you. You are a champion of chilling. that is some. I got too much FOMO in me, man. If I see that sale and I'm like, man, I don't want to spend this money for that, but I got these points. So yeah, salute to you, man. But I know that you had to hold on to that for some years. I think I'll eventually get there. You know what I mean? Because where I'll sit here and I'll just get games on the sales and just not be so have the FOMO like that. I'm starting to get that way. Not fully, but it's starting to get that way. So to have that much control, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. People trying to tie you to an opinion is boring. Yes, that is boring. I hate seeing all of the discourse. This is Elite saying, I hate seeing all the discourse about games nowadays. People just looking for a reason to hate them. I have seen so many greats, in my opinion, fell because of social media hate campaigns. Absolutely. Let's see, read more. Fan says Xbox wants to sell digitally. The Series X was bought for me via Xbox website. I waited 33 days for it to come to my house. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, see, no. See, that's the whole point of where retail is still important. A fan talking about you, Mike Ybarra. Michael Turner says, "Oh shoot, now it's Xbox doing. Haven't seen anything from him in a minute." He saw Xbox 448. Yeah, Xbox doing. He's living his life, man. He got him. Last time I checked, he had him a woman sent back, working, doing his thing, man. I see him post his stuff because we friends on Facebook. Xbox always gonna be a brother. You know what I'm saying? Like I love him to death. But he just got burnt out. Like, you know what I'm saying? He says he might want to come back, but I think once you get out of it and you get that freedom of not wanting to have that commitment, that's why I was like when the team asked me to come back to do GRG, that's why I was like, we're gonna do it once a month. I'm not doing GRG once a week again. I'm just not. Yeah, it could help out with ad revenue, all that other stuff, views, and subs, all that. Yeah, great, but once you get that freedom of stepping back and you like, at first it was kind of sad because, my family was like, are you all right? I'm like, I don't got nothing to do. I'm used to doing GRG. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then shit, once I sit there and start going through, I'm going to go gambling or go to the homies, go to the homies and hang out. You know what I'm saying? Me and the wife go hang out or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or I can watch that sports game live or whatever. Then I got comfortable and I was like, yeah, nope, it ain't coming back. So I can see that. So yeah, I can definitely see that part. So yeah. Oh yeah, people are tough behind a keyboard. There's no question. Fan said he said I was threatened on Xbox Live from an Xbox channel moderator who also stopped watching the channel back when he was a fan of them, just like me. Oh man, that's see that's what I'm saying. Like all that is crazy. He said I bought the Elite controller with him. Good grief, that's some good shit. Yeah, that's a win. That's a win. Now I will peep y'all on some game. They have raised the prices up to it, but okay. So I picked up another Elite controller, right? But I only got it for $30. Okay, so this is my thing. Okay, so like I'm not buying another Elite like that. Well, Elite, we'll have GRG. I do GRG once a month. So, and GRG will come out this Friday. GRG will go live this Friday night. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, we do it once a month. But I know. I mean, I know I get people hit me up on Xbox. You know what I'm saying? It used to be every week, all week. Yeah, man, come on, bring GRG back every week. But now I still get people on occasion now say, man, come on, man, you gonna bring GRG back, man? I'm like, nah, not every week again. Once a month. If it's a crazy session, like a crazy news session, I could do a GRG special and a GRG for maybe 2 weeks in a row or something like that, for like if some crazy news that's dropping, I could do that. But just going and doing it consistently every week again, nah, man, that's what I'm trying to do is get to where I want to stream on a regular basis, and have that take its place. So like this stream, just doing this and me playing games and just interacting with the community, having a good time. That's where it's going for me now. It's not about doing all, because it's a dying fad. As everybody is seeing, like it's a dying fad. Like we talk about, GRG was very unique. We talked about so many other things, but it's a dying fad. That's why people are kind of swaying all over the place. Because I mean, hell, if Xbox did go away, Xbox, what would 90% of the PlayStation content creators talk about? I mean, the next thing that I'm going to talk about here is like, I mean, I'm going to still finish, because I've been kind of reading the comments, but I'm going to finish talking about what this whole thing about with Xbox and this crazy ass these speculations. But it's just nuts, man. Like, I mean, what are those like 90%, no lie, 90% of PlayStation content creators would fold because they don't talk about games, they talk about Xbox. Ghosts of Yortai, or Ghosts of Yortai, however you pronounce it. Ghosts is out, brand new game, and they're talking about Xbox. I mean, first topic, if we on GRG, will be about the games. I always bring about the games. Then we talk about the other stuff. The games is what we do this for. Good, bad, and different. Xbox, PlayStation, PC, mobile, whatever. The games is what come first. We ask about what games we play for the week, and then whatever that hot game is, what do you think about it? And then we get into the other shit. The games is first, but that's not how they work. The first thing they go, oh man, Xbox is done, it's cooked. you imagine listening to some of these PlayStation content creators over here trying to talk about just games and gameplay and the dynamics of it, and then showing you the gameplay in the back instead of showing you somebody else's gameplay. Lord have mercy, it'll be over for them. They don't have nothing. Bless their little hearts. They don't have nothing. Xbox is what's been fueling their channels for years. They have nothing. They're part of this 63%. Be a sad day the day that Xbox Pass goes away, but Xbox ain't going away, so therefore they'll still have their channels, sadly. But my God. Anyway, so let me finish my point about this whole Xbox thing, about these rumors being debunked. It's just, we have to be, we really do have to pay it. We really do have to wait instead of reacting. Cause I mean, the first thing people do once they see this stuff, people react, they get emotional, they're mad. A lot of people feel, that, they feel betrayed. They're like, this is not what you told us. And then when Xbox, and then after, because you're so mad, and I wasn't like this. I mean, but I did believe it. Like, I'm like, well, damn. Like, well, Xbox is saying Series X, and I'm like, damn, the Series S and X is a fantastic console. It's not my ideal console in the sense of what I would love the Series X and S to be. I still love the 360 and the Xbox One features. I still wish that they had those features within the Series X and S. But when you're talking about just a gaming console and what it provides, it's a fantastic console, both of them. And so to say you're done with it, damn, like, I mean, what's happening? So like I said, I believe the rumors. I was like, well, I guess, I mean, what's happening? This is crazy. And then I've come to say, I don't know what Xbox is going to do. I have no clue. And then when you come and you look at it from, you really sit back and you pay attention for a minute. And then what was the first thing? And I got to give a shout out to J-Rock, because J-Rock posted a picture of where it all originally came from. And it was from a Reddit post. And the picture of the Xbox is gone in the Walmart was from 2023 or 2022, something like that. And then it just festered and it became its own animal. And then here we go again, where Xbox has to explain themselves yet again, while no other company ever has to explain themselves. They just do. And this is why, honestly, we know Xbox path. Xbox is giving us because there was a lot of people that were saying, we just need to know what Xbox blueprint is. We just need to know. We know now. Xbox is putting their game. Everything's an Xbox. Xbox is going to take over in that way. From their perspective. They're like, you know what? Hell with this console war bullshit. Hell with that. We're making a new console. That was a lie. The people keep lying about this, that, and the third. We'll let them know what it is. We don't care. Give us your money. You want our games. We know it now. Everybody knows it now. PlayStation knows it. Nintendo knows it. Everybody knows it. You want and you love our games. Make our games be forced to be at the VGAs in awards. Force you to sit here in the show in them top 10s on PlayStation and Nintendo when those Xbox games start dropping on there, that we're in the top 5 of every category. We're going to force you to understand that Xbox is important. Xbox isn't trash. Our games aren't trash. Our studios aren't trash. The company's not trash. And we got the best value, even if we raise the fucking price of $30. We're going to force it on your ass. And we're going to link this shit to PC. They're about to cook. Because you know what they're doing for the very first time? They're listening to themselves. Do some of us like some of these strategies? Probably not. But maybe at the end of the day, we might all love it. I have no idea. Will it be the situation where they say, it could crush Xbox? Well, what the hell does it matter at this point? I mean, you're already saying that Xbox was going away anyway by all these lies, and the media was just all joyfully putting that shit out there. So now I think Xbox now really come to the realization of like, we're going to do what we want to do. We're not listening to content creators. We're not listening to anybody else. We got a plan. We see what the future of gaming is. We look at the data. The data does not lie. Only 4% are really buying these games. Well, hell, let's make it, let's get that 4% to start buying games on everything. And you know what's going to happen after that? PlayStation's going to say, oh shit, they're already seeing it. You know what? Hey, Tashawn said, you know what I need? And see, that's the thing. I'm too kind hearted. You're right. If I want a GRG every week, hey, pay me $7.99 an episode. I love that. He said, Tashawn said, hey, if you want GRG every week, charge them $7.99 an episode. Bro, let's go. That's where I need to be on my demon arc about shit like that, but I don't. Like, I can look at people like Forge Games and shit like that, and I'm seeing people just demanding money. Like, I can't do no shit like that, bro. I'm just appreciative of you guys coming in and checking out my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, should I solicit more? Absolutely. Should I sit here and be asking this and that? Man, hell, just give me some likes, give me some comments, join. But man, listen, it's appreciated if you want to sit there and want to hook up a brother with some change. I ain't going to deny no change. But shit. Damn, I mean, the way that these people grill, I can't do it. It's just not in my nature. I can't sit here and say, now listen, I have mouths to feed, and you like my content because you're watching. So therefore, you got to pay me. I can't do no shit like that. It's just not in my DNA. But I mean, I should in the sense because everybody else do shit like that, but I just don't. I'm not. It's more to me than that. I mean, I do like the money, but it's not about it. Like I said, man, yeah. But hey, as an option, like I said, I gotta go through. Me and my wife got to go through and work on the Patreon so I can redo that because I have not changed the Patreon since we made it because that took so long to make. And every time I look, I'm like, oh, I got to change this shit. But I just like, ugh. So it'll be a lot lighter when we redo it. So. Because the Patreon is still there. It's just not, but just don't believe any of that shit that's there no more because hell, Lady Infamous and Delilah is not there nowhere here ain't no more, whatever. Just don't listen to all that shit. If you just want to support through the Patreon, please, by all means, do that. I am going to start getting back to doing game giveaways though. I will start doing that. And that's probably most likely when I start doing GRG once a month. I plan on definitely doing that again. So that part that will be true. So, but anyway, but yeah, the Patreon's still there. I just need to change it. So anyway, what'd you say? Oh man, oh shit. He says I wasn't a fan of multiplat, but ultimately it don't hurt me. No, it don't. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan still of it. Like I still want Xbox to be cooking, especially now that they got the games, Jack. Like they are cooking. I knew this day would come. I knew that Xbox game the onslaught was going to happen. I knew it, right? But man, could you have done the onslaught later? That's what I was hoping for. Was the onslaught to be later if you was going to do that? At least let it cook let it simmer. Man, all these games, man, PlayStation ain't giving out shit. They got a hot one, but man, they ain't done nothing. Nintendo isn't even. They brought some good games, but not like what Xbox is bringing. Good grief. Thank you, Elite. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, come on, man. Are you kidding me? Yeah, but they're gonna sit there and they see that's another thing too. Like I just watch up the gun. Damn, but see, that's that Amy Hood for you, man. That's them Elite, that table, the four horsemen. It's the grandfather, it's the grandfather no, what's it? No, we call him grandfather, grandmaster. What we call Sadia? I forgot what we call Sadia. Anyway, him, Amy Hood, the black dude, and then the white dude. Like I forget the other people's name. That they the four horsemen. They don't be bullshitting. They want their money. They thugs. They ain't playing. God damn, they ain't playing. They thugs. They goddamn monsters. They sit there. So I'm just gonna call them the four horsemen. They sat there and said, nah, you got this Activision. You gonna, oh, you want this? So my daughter be doing all this clock it shit, whatever. I think it's so corny, but my wife do it. And so I run around, play around, do it. But yeah, no. Every time that Phil walk around, Phil and Sarah Bond and Matt Booty walk around and they see the four horsemen. Four horsemen's like, clocking, man, where my money? Where my motherfucking money? I need my money. Where's it at? Man, go on, raise Game Pass up $10, guys. We gotta find a way. They come up in there, the four horsemen say, man, what? Call of Duty. They lost how much money? 300. Where's my money? 300 million. Where's my money, Phil? Oh man, damn it. We got to raise these games $80. God damn, man. They don't know what the Xbox community gonna say to me. God. The four horsemen don't play, Jack. So I don't know. Anyway, they ain't playing. So it's Sadia. Stop it. No, we call it was the Grandmaster. I forgot what we called Sadia. But yeah, no. He ain't playing. The four horsemen ain't playing. They want their motherfucking money, and EA knows this too when it comes to them Saudis. Them Saudis is definitely gonna be clocked. Man, they pulled up 55 billion, bro. 55 billion. I said this last week. There's levels to this, and I'll never understand it. That's money that I will never ever comprehend, bro. I heard. Okay, so I'm not gonna do the politics stuff, but okay, so there was a transaction between a president and another president, and it was what was it? 20 million, 10 million, 20 million. Anyway, it was shipped in boxes because it was all cash. They said that shit weighed 200 pounds. That's a lot of goddamn money that weighs 200 pounds. So just imagine what $50 billion in crates look like. I don't know, but EA, there's gonna be a lot of clocking. EA, where my money? Where my money? Hey man, go ahead and close that studio down. Hey man, go ahead and sell BioWare. Yeah, get that shit out of here, bro. Get it out of here. Madden, but okay, you cool. Sims, you cool. Apex Legends, you cool. EA, what's the EA games that have that does those like those indie games and stuff like that? I forgot what it's called. EA something. Nah, that might be out there, bro. Battlefield 6 might come in annually, yearly. It ain't. After this Battlefield might come here yearly, bro. They're gonna have to get that. They're gonna have to get that money. Anyway, let's see what say. Lee says, I thought Game Pass increase was $5. What was $5 too much, but can't deny it's still a good deal. Yeah, no, if it was 24, because everybody, I said this last week, was that Game Pass, everybody knew this. We all talked about this years ago. That Game Pass was going to jump up to $24.99. We knew that. But they just said, because the Four Horsemen said, hey, where my money? Where is my motherfucking money? And they said, raise that up another $5, please. They said, go ahead and raise that up another $5, man. They said, where my money? And they do it. And I guess they send Amy Hood there. They send the Fourth Horseman there because maybe she seems nicer about it. I have no idea. But the Four Horsemen don't play. Anyway, Phil said 4 games and case by case basis, which was to see how those games does. Then more to come. Yeah, no, Rain. I know that. Well, I knew that was the bridge, and that's when I tried to justify it. Well, not justify it, but try to analyze it in a way of like, okay, by case basis. Okay, if you keep 10% of Xbox's IPs on Xbox and PC and let everything else cook on what's called, I mean, nobody should trip out, right? Like, I mean, that you know what I'm saying, Halo, Gears, Forza should say, but now since Forza, it's Gears is already, man, it's the whole slate. It ain't no case by case basis no more. I mean, Starfield will eventually go whatever, but again, it's going to flip. And I'm going to get to that. I'm going to go to because there's one more story after this one, and then I'm going to get out of here. But let's talk about Ghost of Yotai. I think I said that right finally. Well, I seen something today where it said that Ghost of Yotai was number 12. Was number 12. Well, that's I'm not going to do it. But that says something. That tells you something, ladies and gentlemen. And it goes back to the very beginning, because that's where I was going to segue to until I start talking about the Xbox stuff. But Ghost of Yotai is number 12. That was the same launch week or whatever for Ghost of Tsushima, whatever. Tsushima, I think that's how you say it. Of the first Ghost game. That is glaring. And it's not about this whole weird anti-woke stuff. It's not that. It ain't that. It ain't that. That's what those weirdos would want you to think it is. Nah. It's going back to the very beginning of what I was talking about on the percentages of who are buying games and who aren't. That's what this boils down to, because they're pricing gamers out. They didn't look and see a flat chest woman and say, "Oh my God, I can't buy that." Oh, is she LGBTQ? No, I can't buy that. No, that's those weirdos, and they want to. It is the fact that their price is $70. And what came out that sold over 6 million copies already? Battlefield. What other games has come out that's at the end of the year that may have caught other people's attention? You still got to think about 2K and 2K Season 2. People going to pay that $20. So if they paid $20 and they're only going to have their budget to buy one game, well, it ain't going to be Ghost of Yotai, because that's $70. They're not buying that. They just, because it's like, okay, I'll get it on a sale. You know what I'm saying? He says, I don't think Yotai is doing as well as Tsushima, but it is good. It's a good game, even though I can't stand Atso, the lead character. Now, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't played it yet. I know that I'm going to enjoy it. I just, like I said, I'm just waiting for the PC version, the true definitive edition, in my opinion. But that's not a good look for a group of content creators that brags on their sales numbers of a console being at however million, and you have not had a huge list of games of first party games to drop this year in 2025. I mean, people would be already done with Death Stranding 2 by now, right? Which came out in June. So you would think the next PlayStation game would be ready to cook, and especially a game that, in my opinion, the first game should have been a game of the year. But okay, that's fine. It wasn't. So you would think that that would go ahead and get a lot of people's attention. But you know what it is? It's pricing gamers out. It's pricing gamers out. That $70, that $10 extra that PlayStation content creators told us that wasn't a big deal, obviously must be a big deal. And let me look at something right fast. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Oh shit. Okay, that's a big graph. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay, here we go. All right. So, all right, and so I typed in what games came out in 2020. That's out in 2025. Oh, let me go here. Okay, here we go. So, you don't have to worry about Candy Rangers. I think that would be fine. I think Ghost would do very fine. Okay, so then we got here. We got Ghost of Yotai that came out on the 2nd. Okay, but then if people got a Switch, you got Mario Galaxy and you got Mario Galaxy 2. And then all you got to look at that is the price differential. If somebody who just got a Switch 2 or got a Switch 2 at launch for the very first time and did get the first Switch, or hell, they got it, whatever, you got $40 compared to $70. And then if you want to sit there and put both games together, then it's the same price of Ghost, right? All right, different. You got The Sims. Sims Awaits is $40, and what tripped me out, it is EA's biggest moneymaker. I had no idea. I showed that last week. If you want to see my thoughts, it blew my mind. I had no idea that it did it, and obviously it does, because they're charging you $40 for Adventure Awaits. Okay, so then you got Castle of Heart, which it's fine. Digimon, you got a group, but that ain't gonna hurt. I do love 2XKO. That's a free to play, but that's only on PC. But still, I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and buy some of that. I'm gonna go ahead and put that $50 on. I'm gonna get that $50 on it, because that game's tough. That's a fun ass fighter. Okay, and then you got Death Ground, whatever. I'm just gonna not even go through those. Okay, so then you got this game. What is it? Solve 'em or whatever. That's $24.99. That's a game that's been getting a lot of praise, a lot of love. So Yooka-Laylee, all the rest of these games. Okay, here you got Battlefield 6, which is $70, and that came out. And Battlefield 6 it came out just 8 days after. So if somebody's getting paid every 2 weeks, or if somebody gets paid every week, whatever, you know what I'm saying, you got around first of the month is you paying it's according how it kind of flows, but usually around the first of the month, you're paying your rent, your utilities, or your mortgage and your utilities, right? Or you know what I'm saying, sometimes utilities kind of flow through the middle of the month. But Ghost of Yotai came out in the beginning of the month where people had to pay rent or their mortgage. That's not I mean, it is what it is, but still, it's at the beginning of the month. So yeah, shit like that got to be taken care of first. So Battlefield 6 comes around the second payday. So or people sitting there saved up to get it on that payday. You know what I'm saying? Already pre-ordered or whatever. So then if they pre-ordered it in, let's say September, at the end of September, or right around their payday, then Ghost of Yotai is getting cooked. Unfortunately. Let's see, Little Nightmares. I don't know if Little Nightmares is out, and that's $40. 3. Okay, so you know, Marvel Rivals does really well. You know that people's out there spending money on that. That's free. That dropped a new character. The rest of this stuff, like, I mean, look how many games look how many games this is. This is nutty. Anyway, let's hit that again. looking at anything else. I am looking at Double Dragon Revive, but that's not nothing to stand in the way of Ghosts. Let's see. Oh, Persona 3 Reloaded is dropping on Switch. Damn, $60. Well, I guess what if does it have all the stuff on it? Because if it does, then okay, that's a good deal. All the DLC. Oh, I forgot about Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders is getting a lot of love. A lot of love for $39.99. Then of course you got Outer Worlds 2. That's going to be $70. Plus you got Game Pass for that. You're going to have gamers that's looking at that. Do I think that more PlayStation gamers would buy Outer Worlds 2 over Ghost? I do not. But that's still a game that people will be looking at. But now Arc Raiders, I don't know. That's getting a lot of love. I have no idea what it will do at the end, but I know that game's getting a lot of love. Then you got the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD remake. That's $60. You got the RoboCop collection. And then look, for me, I've been looking at this puppy right here. So, this is where Game Pass works for me. My value. I'm going to play Outer Worlds 2 through my Game Pass. I might consider Arc Raiders, but don't know. That's a maybe but I'm definitely getting that Mortal Kombat collection. Fight Night must continue. I know, and I did do Fight Night this past Sunday. I'm going to do Fight Night. If not tonight, I will do Fight Night Thursday. So we'll find out. But we'll do Fight Night. If not tonight, it will be definitely Thursday. Then you're going to have the Virtual Fighter Revo. That's going to be dropping on the Xbox and PlayStation 5. That's $20. And I definitely recommend it. It's really dope. Then, Tales of Zilla. It just sounds dope. I know I've seen the previews to it, the trailer to it. I just can't remember what it looked like. Then you got Blue Protocol Star Residence, but that's a free to play game, and don't sleep on those free to play games because as we just seen the report, most of these gamers, over 63% of them play these free to play games. Okay, so and then that's about it. But that is a lot of games coming out, and then I don't know, man. All I know is this. A lot of $70, that $10 means a lot to people. That $10 means a lot to those people. And if you got a whole bunch of other games that's coming down the pipe that catches people's attention, I mean, any of these other games, and especially if you got multiple consoles, especially if you got the Nintendo Switch, the Switch 2, yes, that's going to be important. Now, for PlayStation gamers, I feel that it's no excuse for a game that you guys was bragging about, for it to be in the top 15. It was like number 12. That's not a good look, man. That's not a good look. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear none of that. Like, you supposed to be the people that's supposed to buy the games. And that game is not, if it was top 5, okay. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. But it's not number 1. It's top 12? Damn. Anyway. Elite says free to play has ruined games as far as sales go. So many expect everything free nowadays. That could be true. And that's the reason why I say that the gaming services are very, very much important, because if they raise these prices to $80, it was like what Tashawn brought up, which made sense. Hey, is the industry trying to survive, or is the industry being greedy? And it's like I said, both. It's both. But they're not going to get what they want with the $80 game, or charging people $90 to $100 for physical. It's almost like they're trying to force gamers to just stay digital instead of them having to pay the money to make hard copies unless they have those special editions. And that's what it kind of comes off to me. I don't know, but it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's a hard time, boy. Ask Sony for, you know what I'm saying. But my last point for that, and then I'm going to the last topic and getting out of here. But my last point with the Ghost game, I think if this game does not chart um doesn't chart higher, which it should, you would hope it does. But if it doesn't chart higher, in the next like the census or whatever, or data report, then I think there's no more debating what PlayStation is going to do. There's just no debating it anymore. Their games are going to come to Xbox. Their games are going to come to Nintendo. They're already coming to PC. They're going to come to PC earlier. Not all games. They'll still hold a couple of those big boys back, but it's coming, man. Like I said, the first announcement of a PlayStation game, a single player PlayStation game, it is over. It's a wrap. They'll tell you the same thing that what Xbox said. We'll test the waters. We'll see. If PlayStation is not getting money like this, man, I mean, if they got a hot title like this, if there's it's only in the top 12. What else are they going to do? They can't trust the people that sits there and that talks about their product as though it is the most highly coveted thing in the world, and they're not even. And then their games are supposed to be next to, to the golden porridge. It's the sweet ambrosia of all gaming, and it's not even in the top 10. No, not top 10. Bro, what are we saying? What are you? Yes, Gravity Rush do needs to be on Steam Deck. Anyone in the chat who finished Cocoon, I'm 90% done. No, I haven't even played Cocoon. Well, I know it was in Game Pass. I have not even. I downloaded it, but then I never had the time to go and jump on it. Is it any good? I've heard good things about it, but I just didn't have enough time. I didn't even see what Cocoon looks like. So I'm trying to think of a game that came out. I think it was that Capcom Samurai game. I went ahead and bought that game. I liked that game. I knew I wouldn't finish it by the time that it would leave Game Pass. But I went ahead and bought it. That game was dope. I got to like the third chapter, and then I was like, oh yeah, I like this. But then I was playing some other stuff. Oh, it's leaving. Cocoon is leaving Game Pass tomorrow. Okay. Oh, it's like only 6 hours long. Okay, well, yeah, I know it's like that's a little indie game or whatever. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. I say that's interesting, but I won't. I'll be playing Battlefield. that's all I've been playing right now is Battlefield. I've been trying to I've been playing nothing but support. So I played a little bit of recon and stuff like that. But yeah, that was basically it. But I've been playing nothing but Battlefield, Battlefield and 2XKO. That's it. I said I was gonna play Halo this weekend, and I did not. So I got to, and I still got to do that. Anyway, so let's go to our last topic of the evening, afternoon, wherever you get, morning, if you're watching overseas somewhere. Let's see. And this is sad. I mean, but okay, so Greg Miles has confirmed that he's left Rare after 36 years at the studio. He thanked everybody. This is what I gotta say about this. Now, if there's anything that I feel that Xbox should get criticism for, is how Rare was treated in a sense. I have no idea what in the world. Now, see, it can't be the creators. So it had to do with management, but I just don't understand. Listen, I've never played Conquer. I know people talk about Conquer. I have played Banjo Kazooie. I think it's cool. I'm not into platformers like that. I mean, you know, I'll. It has to really catch me. Like again, Psychonauts 2 caught me. I don't know, countless others, but it's not been that many. I mean, like I'm not craving to go jump and play the Switch 2 when I get one to play Mario. It's play Mario Kart or to play something else, like, you know, catch one of those unique fighters or you know, something like that, or like if they did another Marvel Alliance or something like that. Yeah, those type of games from when it comes to Mario. I mean to Nintendo, Zelda, stuff like that. But not so much for the cuddly, cute creature thing. I mean, listen, I think Banjo Kazooie for the time when I played it was great, and I don't see why they didn't make another Banjo Kazooie. Sea of Thieves is great. Sea of Thieves is even when Sea of Thieves was bare bones, Sea of Thieves was fun. Sea of Thieves is I can imagine. I haven't played Sea of Thieves in over a year, so but Sea of Thieves is a great time. I just like playing Sea of Thieves with people. I don't like playing it by myself. Usually you can do the most damage when you play by yourself because if you're really, really that good, you can be stealthy, you can steal from other boats and just, you know, do really good stuff. But um Sea of Thieves is great. But I feel I feel like there's a lot of wasted opportunity. That's when I say that there's definitely should be some criticism there about Microsoft not doing anything else with BioWare. I know that they were, but you know, and I know that they were going to do the Everwilds or whatever, but that got canceled, and so like and I don't know if that's because were they working on that, and then that was kind of like the nail in the coffin. I also felt like if, and I know that it was a different studio that worked on Perfect Dark, but I wonder if Perfect Dark did release, and if it did come out and did well, did good, would that have sparked maybe more conversation of like, okay, we need to bring more rare IPs out because I mean you're losing damn near you lost the heart and soul of the company. Like I don't know. So I don't know. So you said so Raichi says Everwild got canceled because the devs were scamming Microsoft for 10 years. I don't believe that. And maybe I don't know. I don't know if that's the case or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, development was very long. And it could have been everything could be all coming in, like I'm just saying, but it just looks like the era of rare is gone. Like there's no there I don't think I mean it would be a pleasant surprise, but I just don't know, you know, a lot of wasted opportunity in my opinion. That's what I'm saying. Like that's where if there's a criticism that I could definitely understand from a lot of people about from Microsoft or Xbox is why they didn't even attempt, and they did I guess attempt with Everwild, but why they just didn't attempt with Banjo Kazooie or you know the Pinata games or something. I mean, like there's so many IPs. Like I don't get it. That part I don't get. I understand that it's not an easy thing, but yeah, and I do agree, man. Mad Mo, like 36 years is a long time to be in one company. I mean, that's old school. You don't see that anymore. So it is an accomplishment for sure, and it's a testament to the man doing, you know, making some great content. But man, I don't know. So my question is to you guys before we get out of here: what do you think is going to happen to Rare now? Like, I mean, and we know Sea of Thieves is successful. Sea of Thieves is not Sea of Thieves is not a dying IP or anything like that. Sea of Thieves is still holding strong. So what do you think is going to happen to Rare? Do you think that there's going to be any more new IPs, or is just Rare Sea of Thieves and Sea of Thieves only? What do you guys think? You said, and Greg said, also Rare didn't even know what the game uh, was to begin with. Yeah, that is true. So yeah, I mean, so right, I don't. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't. He's so harsh on how he say things. So like he just said, he just ripped them off. Like they did not know what they were making. I did remember hearing that. Excuse me, they just kind of started it, had a beautiful art style, and then it just they kind of lost their way of what they were trying to do. It almost seems like it was. It almost seemed like it was. It kind of happened like the initiative with Perfect Dark. Like they had the idea, they did this, and then all of a sudden there was just too much creative differences, and then the game just didn't. And then Microsoft was like, "Nah, forget it." You know what I mean? So like, and that's what's saying like what Everwild happened. So he says, "How can you make a game and you don't know what it is?" No, that's what I'm saying. Like you just harsh on how you say stuff. So you just said they ripped them off Microsoft for 10 years. But that is a sign for sure that Microsoft ain't playing that at all. They like, listen, man, the game better come out and it better be because listen, the whole Redfall thing set a lot of shit in motion. Like Phil ain't playing that. Nobody ain't playing that. Like it's because that made all of them look like fools. That made all of the Xbox staff, top brass, look like fools. That was a bad, horrible launch. Not a bad game, but a bad, horrible launch. There was no reason. I'm like, what was Redfall supposed to be? What would if that game even run if that game came out when it was supposed to launch? Yo, yo, wasn't a bad game at all. Really, really fun loop. I enjoyed it, but man, that game needed more time in the oven for sure. And so again, that set everything in motion where Microsoft is just not playing games with it, and maybe at the point you being in the game for 36 years, you probably get into a perspective of like you expect certain things to be a certain way, and the way the gaming is moving and all and just the money aspect and this, that, and the third, it's going to weigh on you. So yeah, and it was just time for him to go. Like, I mean, so 36 years of service is a long time, and I don't know if he's going to jump into another venture, try to work on something else. That these days that's really dangerous too, because of course you got to make something absolutely flawless in order, and draw the attention of content creators and other people in order for that game to even have a chance. So I don't know. So regardless, what I'm saying, I hope you're right, and hoping that Rare will be okay. I mean, I know Rare is going to be okay because Sea of Thieves is going to be okay. Sea of Thieves is okay, so Rare is going to be okay. Let me put it that way. But there's so much potential with what Rare has. I mean, we should get something, but I guess if you're waiting 10 years for something, I guess that's the reason why people have to go. So anyway, let's read this. So it says Rare is Rare is full of old people that need to retire. Damn, Sekiro, boy, y'all are. Woo, come on, man. I mean, why? Okay, so I mean, but okay, think about like Kojima. Kojima's like he's almost 70. He's in his late 60s. Right? He's in his late 60s. Hold on. How old is Kojima? Hold on, let me just do this. Oh my goodness, come on now. I gotta do all that. Hey, let me do my what's called? All right, hold on, let's see. How old is Kojima? He's 62 years old. All right, I'll say I'm giving that man 5 years. He's 62 years old. He's old. He's an older man. So like you were saying, so I mean, there's still gamers that can do it. There's still developers that got it. So I mean, it's all right to have old brass. I mean, the people who made 2K KO, they're older. They're boomers in Gen X, and they made one hell of a great fighter. So this, I don't think it's about the age so much, about maybe if the time has left them. Like for instance, okay, like Peter Molyneux, I think I say his name. He's out the game. His thought process of how gaming is past him. Like the way gaming is now is so past how he thinks gaming should still be, and it's not there anymore. So if he has that, if he still has that type of mindset, then yes, it is time for a lot of those devs to kind of step away, maybe go and do their own thing if they still want to do it, or just enjoy their time and enjoy the memories of them making some fantastic games. But I still think there's still a lot of old devs that still have the juice. I just think that if they still have an old set mentality, that shit's over with. It's over with now. And also, it's just like, and I think that's what killed Platinum Games. They had this old set. We'll take our time. We'll do this. We'll let you cook. Let us cook. We'll sit there and take a vacation. We'll tell these people we'll do this, that, and the third. We'll have this game done in about this time, and we'll be all right. Nope. That's what killed Platinum. Because that don't work no more. So, you got to go with the times. Yeah, Kojima takes 40 years to make a game as well. Yeah, I know it does. Now Death Stranding, it only made 3 years or whatever. But yeah, no, you're right. But Kojima he makes some of the weirdest shit, but he gets praised for it because he has a cool niche of how he presents his games. Like he's all about cinema, and his games always look flawless. He's never made a bad looking game, in my opinion. And controls and stuff like that of his games are pretty good too. But yeah, but still, they're weird. But he still has the juice to keep making games. He does take a long time, but he has his own studio. He has his own clout. Like he can do that. But somebody at Rare don't, because you got to pump out these games. So let's see. I'm very harsh with Microsoft Studios because they were supposed to bring us to the promised land. They did bring us to the promised land. I don't know. Like this is where I completely disagree with you. I don't know what kind of games you are expecting, but they have not dropped any. They have not dropped any trash. Name me something that they dropped this year or even last year, other than that was worse than Redfall. Redfall was the last bad game that they've dropped in the last 2 years. That I just can't agree with you on that. Like the Xbox has been providing good, solid games. I have not dropped any bad shit. Let's see. They're gonna say, it says, slideshow cut scenes can get the fuck out of here. How you going to have a badass intro cutscene then nothing? Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. He said, right. She says, I forgive Redfall because dumb. Oh my God. Damn Phil said, yeah, seems right to spring and vampire game is spring. Redfall needed minimum 6 extra months and the October release. That's not what happened. That is not what happened. I don't know where you got that information from, but that was not how that happened. He trusted in the Phil Hines and the rest of them because they told him that the game was ready to go. And so, because they asked for, because from my understanding, Phil went up there to go see the game wasn't ready. That's why I got delayed in the summer. And then so it was supposed to be, and so again, yeah, I get the part of where the game, but the game was supposed to be out because it's supposed to fit into this whole cycle of where he was supposed to be releasing games within this time period of, between this time frame. Well, that game got delayed, and so it kind of delayed everything else because, again, oh my God, Redfall. I trusted a longtime partner to have this game ready. This game was not ready, and now I got the biggest game that's supposed to be coming out this year, Redfall. It's got to be right. So therefore, I'm just delaying all this shit. So again, that's not how that happened. That's not how that happened. But you know what I'm saying? But yeah, and I mean, it would have been better for it to. But see, Raichi, this is the thing that this right here. Okay, so let's just say they released it. They released a vampire game. I get what you're saying about the time frame. Like you release a vampire game in October. That would have been great. That would have been better. But the game was supposed to come out in August, right? If you released it in October, that game would have been worse than what it was when it released in the spring. so so it's a no-win situation for Phil. Phil wasn't dumb for delaying the game, for having the game delayed. He did the smart move. He just said, but you know what I'm saying, but he had a lineup that he was trying to work because he had a pipeline. Because he promised the gamers the pipeline. Remember when people were bitching him about the pipeline wasn't the same as what he announced it? Well, it's the developers not having the games right. So again, yeah, he should have went in there. If you want to say that Phil should have went in there and looked at the game himself instead of just taking the word for somebody, I would agree with that. But if you're friends with somebody for a long time and then you know the products that they've been making, which has been some good solid games, you would think that the game would be all right. It was not. So, yeah. True. He is a 60 plus hours. He released games, at least, but he does release games at least. That's it. It says when does he have like 6 games out versus Rare's 1 game? And that's another thing too. Like Kojima does have more games out than Rare has out. And yeah, Big Memo said he has a cult. He has a cult following for sure, but I mean, but his work can't. His quirkiness with his games is weird, but his work ethic and his ability to make a good game is not. I mean, make good games is not. Like the man makes showpieces. His games are beautiful. They're weird as hell. The story is hard to follow, but it's still. But his games are still cool in a way. You know what I mean? Like it's not for everybody, but it's a cool game. I mean, but visually you can jump in, you can play it, and you can appreciate it for just the art, the direction of some of the stuff that happened. Like now, some people can get into the story of I've been trying to get into Death Stranding story. It's so odd, but I can always go back and enjoy just looking at the game and playing it. It feels good, it's smooth, stuff like that. So. And I mean, I will be playing Death Stranding 2. It gives me an excuse to finish Death Stranding 1. So when that drops on PC, I'll definitely will be playing it. So, so yeah. So I maybe I'm a part of that cult. Not a day one cult, but partially. It says Redfall had too much weight on his shoulders. Microsoft didn't have a game for 18 months, and game tax payers didn't have those promised first titles. So when Redfall came undercooked, it was hard. Listen, they had games. Like I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like they had to, like you said game tax. Call it what you want. Game Pass brought some dope ass games. It saved, that year it did save Xbox because that was the only content that it had in a sense. But it had dope ass content. I mean, but where is the same energy for what PlayStation's doing? Like PlayStation's brought out what? How many first party titles? Nintendo has brought how many first party titles? Xbox has brought more first party titles this year than anybody. I don't know. I need some of that same energy for it all, if that's the case. But I don't know. I mean, there's been a lot of gaps from both companies. I mean, from all 3 companies. And so you're still tripping about 2022? Was it 2020? Was it 2022 or 2023? Yeah, it was 2020. It was whatever the year that was bad for Xbox. Didn't have any maybe had one first party game come out, I guess, that year. So anyway, yeah, thank you. Redfall was the only considered bad game, which wasn't a bad game. It was a underachieving game. I would say less than average game in the sense of just there should have been more with it, especially for the price what they were asking for too. So, I think he meant release Redfall last year, 2024 in October. Yeah, no. That's what he was talking about. Yeah, he said Redfall should have came out in game preview for at least $30. Then full. That's perfect. That's exactly what it should have done. They should have rolled out Redfall just like they did Grounded. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Yep. That's what they should have done. That's what they should have done. Damn. I mean, because what could have been with Redfall had a lot of potential. I liked the game. Like the game had a cool ass loop, had a nice story. Like I mean, you know what I'm saying? It was just a cool, just co-op shooter. It wasn't the best ever. It wasn't. You know what I'm saying? The uniqueness was the fact that it was with vampires. You know, but yeah, you did what you're talking about, Sekiro, which absolutely 100% right. You do a $30 preview, and then of course you got Game Pass gamers that'll get to play it. And PC gamers get to PC Game Pass players get to play it. Been a good spot, and then by now the game would still be going well. Would still be doing pretty good. They could be adding werewolves. All types of other shit. Man, it could have been real dope. And then Raichi could got what he wished, which I agree. They should be doing out like patches. They should be doing like big time patches around Halloween. There you go. But I don't know. That seemed to be pretty a pretty common sense thing. But again, you're talking about a development studio that only made single player games. So, you know, you would think there would have been somebody that brought it to their attention. But if the game was so bad, then maybe that would have canceled it. I don't know. So there's a lot of questions on that. I don't know. But all right, guys, thank you so much. I'm gonna sit there and yapped enough. I'm finna get on out of here. It was fun. Yeah, werewolves would have been real dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right, you said, not gonna lie, I think Redfall would have had the same fate as Evolve. I don't think so because there were, okay, so now you see, I was about to get out of here now. You got me. See, this is why I don't think it would have went out like Evolve. Because there was so many, because they could have put a whole crazy different loop. Alone, you would have had a different set of characters of protagonists, you know, to fit with the team, had different maps, and then like you would go into different areas. Like you could bring you got the vampires, you got the werewolves, you could bring other type of different entities and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and make it really bigger than what the game, you know what I'm saying, like, and just add their little story pieces and stuff. I think that game would have had legs. I mean, I'm not saying that it would have been an all-time banger. It would have done like Sea of Thieves numbers, but I think that the game would have had a good following to go back. Because I mean, just think about that. You playing against you got you know what I'm saying, you got 4-player co-op. You may want to add maybe some PvP, you know what I'm saying, in there at some point. You had a lot of options that you could work with it, but the one thing is that what Sekiro brought up, that should have been a no-brainer, but it also made me sit back and think, if the game was so bad then when they had to delay it, that game probably could have got killed off because it was that bad. And maybe that's why they didn't do it, because it just wouldn't make any sense for nobody not saying, well, can we just do a preview and try to iron all this stuff out, since it's our first time making an online game like this, a always online game? I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, listen, these people make the big bucks. I don't, but I don't know. Right, you said, Sony PlayStation this generation is bad. Last gen, At least they had Japanese JRPGs making makers skipping Xbox, making them exclusive. But this gen, what? This gen, okay, Phil traveled to Japan and said JRPGs on. Oh, you said Smart Phil, but JRPG. Well, no, I mean that part. Listen, this to me I said this before. This generation for PlayStation 5 is the worst one content wise. Not saying the PlayStation 5 is a bad console. It's not. It's a really good console. But the content for the PlayStation 5 has been awful. It has been so. I'm saying in the sense of not every game that has come out has been bad. Let me just clarify that. The lack of content. That's what I should say. PlayStation 4 content was plentiful. PlayStation 3 content was plentiful. Even though you might not have liked the hardware of the PlayStation 3, but the content was plentiful. PlayStation 2, godlike. PlayStation 1, godlike. So it's just like, and then like with PlayStation 4, it didn't have as much content as the PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 1, or maybe even 3, but it had those exclusives that kept that console still highly relevant. You know, they kept those games off of Xbox and even some off of Nintendo as well. So yeah, and some of those games off of PC, like Gravity Rush and stuff like that. So yeah, it made all the sense in the world. So when you compare what PlayStation 4 did compared to what the PlayStation 5 did, it's not even close. The PlayStation 4 was a much better console. When it comes to content, this content for PlayStation 5 has just been it's been some good games, but it's been so far in between. And the gamers is letting PlayStation know, like, listen, I'm you know what, listen, if this dropped earlier or if it dropped I don't know, like this is another game that I thought Ghost of Yotei was going to be in that space where Spider-Man and God of War Ragnarok was. Like, you know, when I'm talking about for the PlayStation sequels, that does very well. It's so far I mean, from just that data that just got dropped, so I don't know. I don't know, man. It's a weird times, but anyway, for real, I'm finna get out of here now. PlayStation first party exclusives are good, but the best were all those third party exclusives. It was both. PlayStation had some good first party games, especially on the especially on PlayStation 4. They had some really good solid ones. But the third party was yeah, I would agree. The third party was better, but boy, when PlayStation had a PlayStation 4 had a banger. It was a banger. It was a true banger. Now, I mean, I'm not going to deny I'm not a fan of The Last of Us like that, but it could not be denied. I've talked about God of War. I've talked about Uncharted, stuff like that. Yeah. So, but when they came with some heat, But yeah, their third party exclusives or second party exclusives, however you wanted to label it, were epic because they had some heat. They had some real good heat. So, all right. Big Man Mo said false. PlayStation's first party this generation is not that hot. It's very lukewarm. It's very lukewarm. So anyway, all right, guys, thank you so much for checking this out. Who's us? It's just me. I guess maybe you guys. For the people who will listen to me read a lot of you guys' comments, don't forget to hit that like button or dislike. Make sure if you check this out later, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think about anything that I talked about. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, man, hey, look, it's free. Go ahead and do that. You know what I'm saying? If you like the content, help a brother out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit there and beg for no money, but listen, but you know what? Rain, well, no, it wasn't Rain. Who was that? That was Elite. Charge $7.99 for GRG every week. Anyway, that's funny. Anyway, that was funny. I love that. Everybody have a good one. Y'all have a blessed evening. Peace. Oh, and don't forget, GRG will be here Friday night. So don't forget that. Bye.